Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever y'all are watching this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the GeniusCast Season 3. This is episode number 3. Last week we talked to Squeaks Decorgay. He is the developer of Bowler Dread and Breaking the Magic. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, link in the description and at the end cards. Today is episode 3. We're interviewing the homie, the GOAT himself, Jayskibean, a.k.a. MicroHorrorArcade. So this is going to be a pretty unique episode. How you doing, man?
Hey, not bad. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. And yeah, this is going to be a quite unique episode because, usually in these episodes I have, Fnaf fan game developers or, YouTubers, or you're a YouTuber, but I mean, voice actors and stuff that go into Fnaf fan games and stuff, but you're a different kind of developer. You make, a certain style of games, very similar to Dave, but you have your own kind of spice that you throw in there. But you also do video editing. I know you edit for The Game Salmon, for Luigi Kid. And I think, it says in your Twitter bio you're an editor for Chaos as well. So Lotus Chaos. So
yeah, and yep.
So you do a lot of video editing on the side.
Yes.
Actually,
it's kind of my main thing. Like that's my job.
Right. So it seems like considering how much you do, I'm sure you get, a pretty big amount of bucks for that, I would say. Just from how much you do.
It's enough. I was able to quit my day job for it. So.
Oh wow!
Thank God. Yeah, that was nice.
Hey, more power to you. What did you do for your day job?
I worked at Walmart for 7 years.
Really?
And I worked there on and off for 7 years. I worked a lot of different positions there. I worked at a power plant at one point. I was a manager at a barbecue restaurant for like 3 years. And I worked at a packaging facility up in Michigan. So
you have been around, dang.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it seems like that video editing is your passion. Though it's good that you have landed in a spot that works for you.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'll have to get some tips from you because I've been wanting to improve my editing. What do you edit in? Do you use Premiere Pro?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Premiere Pro.
I use some After Effects. It really depends what I'm trying to do. But.
Yeah, I use Premiere Pro as well. So maybe I can get some tips from you. Maybe some answers to these questions from you will give me some ideas of what I can do.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right, we're going to start with our YouTube community tab questions, as per usual. If you guys want to participate in future GeniusCast episodes, all you got to do is drop your questions for that specific guest in the posts that I make. I usually do the posts on Mondays, and I do my interviews on Thursdays, and then the episode goes up on Saturdays. So look out for the next post I do about the next GeniusCast episode. Go and drop your question, and I do it on my community tab on YouTube. I post a tweet, and I do it in my Discord server. So if you guys want to go and drop your questions in any of those, you can find links to all that in the description. So we're going to begin with YouTube community tab. Our first question is from DenDenX3. My question to this jolly man is, what inspired him to make this game? Was it creativity or just for fun? I would assume he's talking about Boofie's Bunker, because that's probably one of your biggest games.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I don't know how, but that one's definitely gotten the most traction over time. Boofie's Bunker. I still look at it as like a big learning process for me. What I had in mind for that game and why it has so many different things in it, and almost every horror trope you can really think of and mechanic, and all that stuff, is because I was trying to teach myself the ropes, of making games in Unreal Engine. And so I everything I could think of, I put into that game. So think of it as kind of like a student self-teaching project. And as far as the story goes, I don't know what I was thinking. I just kind of threw something together, and yeah, I did not expect it to gain traction like it did. That's nice.
I still need to finish Boofie's Bunker. I did one episode of it back in like early 2020. Early 2020, I did one episode, and then I got or maybe it was late 2019. I don't remember exactly how long it's been, but I got to get back to that. There have been so many people that have asked me over like the past couple years, like, when are you going to play more Boofie's Bunker? I'm like, I'm going to get to it. Like every time I say I'm going to get to it, yeah, it's a lot of time because Sam has like a giant playlist of Boofie's Bunker videos. So there's a lot of a lot of stuff to cover there.
It gets pretty hard too. It definitely gets hard.
Oh boy,
So I'm sorry.
Rage inbound, I would assume.
Yeah, probably.
Oh boy. Okay. This next one is also about Boofie's bunker. It's from Lakea Cruz. Which area of Boofie's bunker was the most difficult to create?
The hardest to create. I think. Oh my god. Probably the arcade. I would say, just because it was gonna be something totally different at first, and I ended up bouncing like 2 or 3 different ideas for mechanics and functions for the level off the wall altogether before it sat where it was. And when I finally got it where it was, it had so many bugs and issues that I just kept running into, and I'm pretty sure there's an AI in that level that still doesn't work right. And full disclosure, I just dropped the whole project. I don't even go back. I don't even have it on my computer anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have it backed up online, but I don't have plans to really go back to that specific project.
Huh? So you don't ever
how messed up like the code is in a lot of the levels and stuff.
So you don't ever, not only, so do you ever plan on making like a sequel to Boofie's Bunker or anything, continuing where you left off, or?
If I were to ever do anything with Boofie's Bunker again, it would probably be a remaster. I don't think it would be as big as the original Boofie's Bunker is, because like I said, that was just kind of like me trying to think of everything I could and learn it. And I guess the bad coding is like a side effect of that, because it's all like band-aid fixes on bugs, and it's spaghetti code, and just like it's all over the place. So just to go back in there and try to remaster it from that project would just be a nightmare. I just have to figure out what everything does again, and that I've found way better ways to program things now compared to how I used to do then. And I think starting from the ground up with what I know now would be much better. So if I were to ever do anything Boofie's Bunker again, it would probably be a remaster. I don't know about a sequel or anything. I think I'm at the point where I just want to let the story lie. So,
gotcha, that's understandable. Well, if you make a remaster, I'll definitely be sure to stay on top of that, and won't fall behind 2 years. Because, gosh, man, I cannot believe I haven't been able to get to that game in 2 years. Same with some other games. There are other games that I haven't played in, like, literally 2 years, and it's like, I gotta get back to them, man. There's so many games I play and don't finish.
Finishing series on YouTube is rough.
Yeah, usually if I have to... When I want to finish a game, I have to sit down and like marathon it. That's what I did with.
Yep, exactly.
That's what I did with Resident Evil Village. I just sat down and just streamed for a week straight and just did the entire game. That's what I have to do, because when you're a variety channel like me, you're playing all sorts of different things, and you just get distracted, and
definitely, yeah, and you lose that motivation to continue because you're like, no, this other game's way more exciting right now. Like,
and then you got other people commenting, being like, well, "Where's part 2 of this game?" And it's like, well, I haven't forgotten.
It's like that meme from Toy Story with Andy. And he's like throwing Woody on the floor. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Exactly, man. That's a good comparison. All right, this next one is from Stranger Grayson. Hey, guys, big fan of the podcast. Thank you, Grayson. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So he's got 3 questions. This first one is, what are your thoughts on Fnaf security breach?
Oh, my God. Okay. I'm just going to keep it simple. I have a lot of thoughts on Fnaf security breach. A lot. And I could go on forever. But I'm just going to say that there are parts that I really like. There are parts that I really don't like. And I feel like they could have done so much better with some easy things. I feel like a lot of stuff was left placeholder quality. You know what I mean? I don't dislike the game, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, the game overall, I like it, like it as what it is. But it's, I don't know, I feel like it missed the mark. I really do. I don't know if you want me to go into a lot of specifics, because there's a lot. It's a long game. But
you don't have to go into super deep detail, but I haven't played the entire game. So I
Oh,
can't.
okay.
I mean, what I will say, I played up to the daycare section, and a lot of people have said that
Mhm.
once you get past the daycare section, the game gets a lot better. So I'm going to be getting back to it once they do the big patch. But what I
Okay.
have seen is that it's probably one of the most polarizing and divisive games in the series because
Oh, dude, yeah.
it's ridiculous because like there are people that love the game and they're bashed for it, and the people that hate the game and they're bashed
Mhm.
for it. There's no in between. I've never seen a game
Yeah.
so polarizing.
Well, as a consumer and a game developer, I kind of see from both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? And I can see the mistakes in programming and design, and I can see the placeholder materials they left in. I can see the materials they just bought off of the Unreal Engine shop and threw into the game, and I see that, and I'm just like, as a developer who is 100% self-made in their games, I don't think as highly of the product. I'm not like bashing anybody who uses asset flip stuff. I'm not bashing anybody who reuses content or uses stock or royalty free stuff. Not at all. Like if that's easier for you, if that's what you want to do it. But I see that in a FNAF game that's advertised and looks like AAA, you know, and it's got a $40 price tag, and I'm like, guys, you got some assets in common with Phasmophobia in this game. And
Oh my
it,
god.
it it goes deeper than just the assets. Like there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to, I don't know, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole just because it's a deep one.
Yeah, and
So
I would the price is a problem too. I don't think the game shouldn't
yeah,
be
man.
$40. I think it should have been
And it's
30 at
not,
the most.
and it's not even me being like greedy about it either. It's not like I don't want to spend $40 on a game. It's more like if I spend $40 on a game, I want it to be, I want to get my $40 worth out of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a lot of content in the game. It's long, but I literally streamed it for 9 hours and got every ending. like
It only
for
took you
$40,
9 hours?
I knew I had already edited like Sam's entire series on it, so I knew what to do. But still, 9 hours of gameplay and $40 game.
That's not
Boofie's
worth
Bunker's
40.
free.
That's not worth $40, man. Like,
I just I don't know. I don't know. It's just my opinion, but that the price tag definitely has a big impact on how I view a game. You know what I mean? Like I expect a lot more with a bigger price tag. It sounds petty, but it's just how it is.
yeah, I would tend to agree, and I'll see how it is when I play it again with the patch,
Mhm.
and so I'll give my own judgment on that when we get there. Anyways, so Grayson's next question is, do you have any tips for game making? I'm currently taking game design.
Oh, nice. I would have to answer that question with a few questions. You know, like there's you're taking game design. Are you looking to like work under like in a studio? Are you looking to be a solo developer? Do you want to maybe be a solo developer but pitch your games to a publishing company? You know, or a publisher. Like there's a lot of different things. And what part of game design would you like advice with? Sound design, environmental storytelling, you know, programming. Like there's a lot. Like design itself is it's art. You know what I mean? Like it's all art, but it's more the side that you see in video games. That's the design portion. Whereas development is like all the coding and stuff that goes into it. I took classes at Full Sail for design for a few months, and I ended up dropping out because one of the classes was like a tutorial that I could just look up online, and I was like,
Wow.
I think I'm good. But I don't know. Advice, I'd just start making games. Like even if you're just taking classes, I could just start doing it. When I started game development, I had to look up a lot of different tutorials to learn like one specific thing, and because there's really no one tutorial out there that's gonna show you everything you need to know, and you're gonna want to look at things and ask, why does this work, instead of trying to memorize what makes a thing do a certain thing. Like, say you're trying to program a way to make your character walk forward. You don't try to memorize the code to make the character walk forward. You try to figure out why that code makes the character walk forward. That way, if you want a different situation to maybe adjust it somehow, then you know, like, the ins and outs of it. You know, I guess, I don't know. Good questions.
Yeah, I think that's, since you don't know exactly what he's, going for, once he takes game design, I think that's a good way to look at it, And I think the online stuff is a good way to go to, because there was a brief time in like my junior year of high school that we had a college day where they came to school and we were looking around at jobs, and I had that brief time where I wanted to go into computer science, and I remember my mom and dad being like, dude, like you do you know how complicated that's gonna be? and like,
yeah, I'm not saying drop out.
He is not saying to drop out of school. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. You started talking and I was like, oh no, I don't want them to take this the wrong way. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying school alone, I mean, you can still learn from other sources. That's what I learned from going to school, is that there's other sources that are also good in teaching you things, and it's good to get different points of view like that and learn from different directions, I guess.
Gotcha.
But yeah, don't drop out.
Yeah, don't. Please.
Stay in school.
All right, and his last question is, do you have any favorite horror movies or shows?
Yes. My favorite horror movie is As Above, So Below.
I have yet to see that. I've heard that's really good.
Oh my god, it's so good, dude. It's good. My favorite horror show, the first one that pops into my head is Hill House. Honestly, Hill House was very good. Bly Manor was also very good. All of those were good. Like, there's so many. I don't know. I have guilty pleasure when it comes to shows, but I think those two are kind of the top when I think horror for me. Hill House probably more so. It's just the fact that there's just so much that you can miss the first time watching that show, and you can always go back and find something new. And as far as Above, So Below goes, like, you gotta watch it, man. It's so good, and it's another one that'll kind of like bend your mind a little bit, and I could watch it over and over.
That's the one that's based off of the catacombs at her parish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because they go on the catacombs and all the weird stuff starts happening. I remember, when did that come out? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It was, I remember it was back when YouTube started their little shows, like the series for the different YouTubers, and PewDiePie had the one where he went into the catacombs or something. Or PewDiePie did
Scare
something.
PewDiePie? Was that what it was?
I think so. I think that's about the time it came out.
That would have been like 2013 or something.
It's been out for a while.
Well, I can just look it up. As Above, So Below. 2014. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. That sounds right.
And then Grayson added, "God bless and have a great weekend." Well, you too, Grayson.
You too.
All right. Our next one's from Shadow Jagger. He's got 4 questions. I apologize if it's a lot. Nah, man, it's completely fine. This first one is, what is the hardest obstacle for you when making a game or video?
By the way, I'm sorry. I live right next to Air Force Base, so you're probably going to hear jets in the background. So
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, cool. Anyway, my biggest obstacle in making games, probably over planning. I think is my biggest downfall. I have so many text documents in my PC, both of my PCs, with just game ideas and plans for whole games, and I just never made them. Like, I have folders just full of them, and I lose interest, and then I just don't make the games. I even have like a map and an entire plan for a game written on like a sheet of notebook paper on my whiteboard right now that I made like 2 years ago. And I just never made it. But it's a good plan for a game. I want to make it, but I'm just like, I'll do it later. So over planning for sure, because it like kills my motivation. I recently I've been doing a thing where like I try to narrow my vision a little bit when it comes to that kind of thing, and like take one goal at a time. Like only like look at one goal at a time. Like it's okay, it's good to plan, but feature creep just gets me. Like I always go, oh, what if I added this? What if I added this? And then it just blows up. And then I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I would agree to say that multitasking it stresses you out, and like I've learned that lesson a lot. Like with writing newspaper stories is a good comparison, because when I do one at a time, I'm able to get them done in a better fashion. But if I'm trying to juggle like 2 or 3 at the same time, it all just falls flat, and then my boss is being like, where is this story? Are you finished this? And I have to be like, no. and then it's never fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good advice, is just don't try to multitask. Just focus on one particular point in time at a time.
I've started to learn that multitasking doesn't really exist. Like it's just something that's kind of like you just can't focus on more than one thing at a time. You physically can't do it. Like you just can't. I don't know. You got to put something down to pick something else up. So if you're saying I'm trying to edit a video while I'm working on my next game, I can't do them both at the same time. Like I can like technically be planning a game or something and editing, but you're moving slower towards both of those goals versus moving at a nice pace towards one, finishing it, and then starting on the next one.
Gotcha. All right. This next one it's from Shadowdagger again. What's your favorite type of style that you would want to go for or want to go for when making a new game?
I think I'm kind of at like a sweet spot right now. Of course, I haven't really released much like of my new design stuff lately, but I have that kind of like, it's kind of like a grungy look to my games. Not necessarily like VHS, but I guess I would like to go for like more of like an N64 kind of feel, but with more like realistic textures. I don't know, just like a more dirty N64 look. Giraffe Town is probably a good example. I don't know if you heard of Giraffe Town.
It rings a faint bell, but I don't remember much about it.
Or maybe Mario 64 crossed with like Silent Hill, I think would probably be like a really good.
That would be cool looking. I'd like to see something like that.
I think that'd be a nice aesthetic to hit. So I'm kind of working toward that, but I also really like the whole Nightmare Fuel aesthetic that a lot of EXEs have, or like that a lot of these the modern analog horror has going on, and it's super cool. Like I don't know, there's a lot of aesthetics out there that I really like, that I see a lot of, and it's hard to really pin anything down. So ideal style I think would be probably like that grungy N64 look, but I don't think I see myself really sticking to one style in game development, like the way my games look. I would like to make different looking games from one another in the future.
Gotcha. Well, I look forward to seeing where you go with that. All right. So next one from him is, what's your opinion on Fnaf in general?
Okay. Fnaf in general, it's not bad for what it is. Like it obviously, Fnaf, like it revolutionized horror.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
like
for sure.
when it's the last thing that I can remember that did something 100% original. Like obviously it's taken like different things from different places. Like stuff does not move when you look at it, you know. Watch security cameras, you know, that whole thing. But like it just, you can't really make anything original, but you can take a mixture of really cool things that hasn't been put together before and put it together and make something that seems completely original, you know. Like that's what Bendy did that, you know. Baldy did that, and all these bigger Andy's Apple Farm's doing that, you know. All
Which I
these
still
bigger
need to
games
play.
are doing that. Yeah, these games that are blowing up. That's why. So, FNAF was like the first of its kind when it came to that sort of thing. I think before FNAF, the biggest like horror stuff that we had going on was like creepypasta, uh, Slender Man, you know, Amnesia,
Oh
and then
man.
FNAF came along, and it was like, okay, cartoons can be scary, but beyond just I found this cartridge and it's haunted, you know. So it just, I guess it kind of opened the world up, and that's so cool. I think that's super cool. Um, of course, as all series go, you know, it's gonna kind of dwindle. I mean, sequels are arguably not as good as the first of a creation, you know. Again, sorry about the Jets.
I do hear that one, but you know, it's fine. You can't blame me for living next to an airbase. It's not your fault.
So as it went, it kind of dwindled a little bit. I feel like it's definitely changed since Ultimate Custom Night. I don't really I'm in denial, you know. Like I feel like story wise, that's when it ended. Like that was it for me. Everything after that is like I don't really care. Like sure it's canon, but is it though? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna break them down. I like FNAF. FNAF 1 was good for when it was released. FNAF 2 was better. FNAF 3, I don't know. I see what he was going for.
I did not like 3.
But
3 is like probably my least favorite.
I see where he was going for, but I just feel like it was too lore dumpy, I guess.
It did have a good story. I do like the way it ended.
Yeah, because that was the story one. That was the one that was supposed to be like, okay, nobody knows what's going on. At least from my point of view, that's what it looks like. And then 4, I love 4.
4 is my favorite. Yeah, 4 is the best one in my opinion.
I loved 4.
4 is awesome.
It's so quiet until it's not, and it's like it forces you to let your guard down. Like you have to, and I think that's cool design. I like that, and it punishes you for your mistakes. You know, FNAF 5. Again, same thing as 3. Honestly, too much. Like I feel like it went too much into like story. You know, but better than 3. And then FNAF 6 was, oh my god. Okay, so I love the concept of FNAF 6, but I don't like how it was done, I guess.
Yeah,
like
I've always pizzeria parts with the, you know, when you do your tasks and you have to look in the vents. I did not like that. It was just it's kind of bad when because my friend Babs made a Sonic's Pizzeria Simulator game where it was like, you know, FNAF 6 type gameplay, but the way that she did it was, even though it was a cartoon hand-drawn game, it was better because you could actually like look in the vents and see the characters. You could put a door over the vents, and like, you know, I think it was better, and I don't like the design of FNAF 6. It was very luck-based. And also,
I don't know, but the jump scare noises, I feel like, got worse and worse after Sister Location, at least to me. So anyway, FNAF 6, I love the concept of it. I would love to see a game that kind of mixes Doki Doki Literature Club's slow burn with some sort of tycoon, like maybe a theme park simulator where you build a theme park and then like it just goes dark at one point and takes a 90-degree turn into just horror, and everything that you've created in that theme park just goes to hell, you know, and you have to like survive through it. I think that would be so cool, and I feel like they had that sort of thing going on, or they could have with FNAF 6. I feel like they could have done something so cool with that idea, but no, they didn't. Ultimate Custom Night, It was all right. I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's a custom. It's just custom night. I like how they shoved all those different mechanics together, I guess. But and then after that, VR was awesome. I loved VR.
Oh, it's so fun. I
It
love
was
VR.
so fun. But it's fun. But I feel like even if it didn't have FNAF slapped on it, it would still be fun. And then I already talked about Security Breach. So yeah, I like FNAF, but they're just it's such a broad spectrum of stuff in FNAF, you know.
Yeah, I would agree. And there's a question later on that asks you to rate every FNAF game, but we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. Well, that one's gonna be short now.
Yeah, we do a quick recap and
Yeah.
do the in order. Then the last question from Shadow Jagger is favorite or least favorite horror movie. We know that your favorite is as above so below, but what is your least favorite horror movie?
My least favorite. That's tough. Because I'd have to remember the ones that are forgettable. My least favorite horror movie that I've seen recently, it's not because I think it's the worst horror movie that I've seen, but because I had such high expectations for it, and it fell so short. Probably Malignant, which is it just came out.
I haven't heard of that.
I don't know how to sum it up without like spoiling anything, because it's got that generic woman finds something from her past that haunts her, you know, like it's got that description that every horror movie has. But it's, I don't know, like we watched the trailer for it and I was like, dude, this looks so cool. And it fell so short. I don't know. I guess that one right now, but that's gonna change. I guarantee you after this, I'm gonna remember a movie that I like even less.
Did you see the new Scream?
I haven't.
I've heard it's good, so I need to catch up on the Scream movies to watch that one.
Yeah, slasher films are more of like a guilty pleasure, like one of those things that I have to like. I would also have to be in the mood for, you know. I like supernatural, like haunting kind of stuff. Like I love ghosts. That's my jam. Ghosts and like possession stuff and anything like that. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm more of a horror game person because I've got a weird anomaly where I play horror games and they don't bother me, but then when I play or watch horror movies, like nightmares and
oh no,
it's like I always remember this when I think about bad experiences from horror movies. I remember back in 9th grade, I watched The Woman in Black, and it took me weeks to get over that movie. Like I had trouble sleeping for weeks, and it was this one particular scene. Have you seen Woman in Black? Have you ever seen that movie?
If I have, I forgot it. It has Daniel Radcliffe in it. Right? I had to have seen it.
But there's a scene.
So many.
There's a scene where it's a really good shot from what I remember, but it shows like the Woman in Black down at the end of the hallway. I think you can see her down at the end of the hallway, and then portions of the hallway start going dark, like closer and closer to where the main character is, and then she like comes in like screaming, and her face comes right up in the camera, and it's really scary looking. And probably I'd laugh at it now, probably, but back then that scared the wits out of me. Like I couldn't sleep for weeks. I don't know what it was about that particular shot, but it got me real good.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen it. It's got Daniel Radcliffe in it, and my wife is in love with Harry Potter, the art Harry Potter. Let's not go into that, please. So I'm sure we've watched it. I'm sure we saw Daniel Radcliffe in a horror movie and we're like, oh, we gotta see that. But I wrote it down, so something we'll watch soon. Jog my memory.
Gotcha. And Jagger adds at the end, no, you're one of my favorite game devs. How about that?
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
All right, this next one's from Adriana Kanska. Question for Jay. Why does Boofie's design look like it does?
Okay, so Boofie's in-game design looks nothing like he was supposed to look like, because that was the first model I ever made, and it's so bad, and I just kind of ran with it. It's one of those things that just kind of stuck, and I was like, I guess that's way, kind of like Lanky Lonky. Lanky Lonky has the same thing going on, like that. Lanky Lonky was literally a doodle inside of Blender, and it people liked the game. Great. I don't know why this happens, but Boofie's original design was straight up just like a plush dog, and I just doodled him one day and tried to model him and failed, and that's what we got. That's why he looks like that.
That's interesting. So a quote unquote failed model is what you went with.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
That's interesting. I did not know that. So that's for anybody that should be an interesting fact for people who are fans of that game. That it's technically a failed model. That's really interesting.
Yeah, the remaster will not look like that if I make one. So.
Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind. All right, this next one is from Razvan. He has two questions. First one is, what is, in your opinion, the worst plot twist in a video game that you've played?
Oh, man. Oh, the worst plot twist in a video game that I've played. Oh, it's so hard, because, like, now I gotta, like, go back and think, like, what story-driven games have I paid attention to and remember? I don't know. I don't know about, like, worst. I play a lot of, like, arcade-esque games, you know? Like, I play a lot of, like, collect the 8 pages, you know, or, like, get this and get out, or just regular platformer games, which are like, oh, there's an evil guy at the end. Get there and beat him. Plot twists. Oh, man. Now I gotta think of what story-based game have I played recently. Okay, so I don't know about a worst one, but I see a few games in my Steam library with plot twists. I'll talk about those. We got Battle Block Theater. It's got a plot twist at the end. Kind of. Have you played through Battle Block Theater?
I have not.
Okay, Ben and Ed. You played through Ben and Ed?
That is a game I wanted to play for so long, but I just never had the time to pick it up.
It's got a plot twist at the end that, without spoiling anything, I guess this counts. Yeah, okay, you know what? This is the worst plot twist, because it's not. It is, but how'd you not see it come? Do you care if I spoil the end of this game?
Whatever. No, I don't mind.
Okay, so at the end of Ben and Ed, you play as a zombie who's trying to get to his best friend, human boy named... you play as Ed, the zombie, trying to get your best friend, a human boy named Ben. And at the end, you finally get to him, and plot twist, you eat him. But you're a zombie.
Are you serious?
So, like, oh my yeah, so like the whole time it's like, oh, he loves his best friend. Oh, and then you get there, you just eat him. And it's like, oh, why did I not see that coming? I don't know. I'm sure there's definitely worse plot twists out there. I guess I should start paying attention and actually remembering stories from games that I play. Sorry. Choking on air.
Boy, I hate it when that happens when you choke on air. It's very ironic.
Choking on literally nothing.
All right, his Razban's second question is, do you think Around the Clock at Bikini Bottom can be beaten in less than 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 57 seconds?
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, the world record right now is like 153 something, and there are time saves on top of that. I think Cardon Hacer holds the world record for any percent right now, and his sum of best is like 151. But we don't think it's possible to break below 150. Maybe though, never know. Especially with Dave planning on updating it pretty soon, and I'm
I
pretty
heard
sure
about
he's making
that.
it more speedrun friendly. So that's nice.
That's an
I don't think he's
excuse for me
taking
to go
out-
back because I haven't played it.
Yeah.
That's another game I got to go back to. It's been almost a year.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good, man. I don't think he's removing any of the speedrun like exploits, like the skips that we found, which is very nice. But I think he's getting rid of a lot of the bugs that loses us time. So that's super cool to see. But yeah, speedrunning. I could definitely. I don't know. After this update, I think it could go below an hour 50 minutes.
Cool. Well, we'll have to see. This next one is from Superstar GD. In order, what would you rate every FNAF game from best to worst, and what other things do you do for a living?
Okay. In order from best to worst. In order from my favorite to my least favorite, because best to worst would get me canceled.
Yes.
Let's go with my favorite. I'm just gonna talk in terms of gameplay. I'm not savvy to the story. I'm gonna straight up think gameplay, immersion, and immersion breaking. How much fun I have with these games. VR Help Wanted is probably the most fun FNAF game that I've played. So VR Help Wanted's got to be a number one, just because like it's all of them in one. It's all of them, and it's in VR. It's so fun, even if you're not playing it in VR. It's just such a big improvement. Second, let's see. I gotta go with 4. I want to say FNAF 4 is probably second. Obvious reasons. I already talked about it. I'm just gonna rank them because I've already talked about all these games. So VR, FNAF 4. Let's go FNAF 2. FNAF 1. Let's go with Sister Location. Ultimate Custom Night, even though there's trauma. And I guess FNAF 6, FNAF 3.
What do you think? What do you think of FNAF World?
Oh, security. I've not played FNAF World actually, but knowing me, I'd probably probably love that game. It looks so fun. I've watched.
It is fun. It is fun.
Like, I've like guilty pleasure watched Dako and Markiplier play through that. Or was it? No, I don't think. Has Markiplier played it?
I don't think he has. It had been Dako.
Yeah, I think it was just Dako. Yeah, I like binge watched Dako play it. But it looks so fun. I think I would love it. Oh, and then there's Security Breach. I don't. Can we just leave that one?
Yeah, we can just say that's kind of like middle ground.
Yeah, because it's, I don't know, it's like its own thing. It's weird. It's like, it's totally, it's hard to consider that a FNAF game. Like, sure, it's got the IP, but...
It's not 5 nights. It just takes place over one night in a mall.
It's weird.
It's not 5 nights.
It's so weird. It's a cool game.
And then, so his other half of the question is, what other things do you do for a living? I know you do the video editing, but...
Okay, so, main source of income is video editing. I also run a YouTube channel. I am kind of taking a break right now, though. I haven't uploaded in a couple weeks. I'm sure I'll go back to daily uploads sooner than later. I'm just really busy with game development, which is also a thing that I do a lot of. I stream on Twitch very rarely now. I'm sure I'll go back on a Twitch kick eventually. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, for a living, I guess those are all my sources of income.
Cool. Yeah, I've told people that basically I am a newspaper reporter Monday through Friday. Sometimes on the weekends, it just depends on if I have to do an extra interview. And then on the weekends and some weeknights, I'm a front loader at Lowe's Home Improvement. So it's yeah, it's
2 jobs is rough, dude.
Yeah, and it's more manageable these days because Lowe's gives me most of the weeknights off. Usually it's just the weekends that they schedule me. But yeah, having to work weekends sucks.
I used to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and go to this power plant where I was like a temp in accounting. So I would work there until like 4, and then I would drive across town to this barbecue restaurant I worked at, and I'd work there till like 11 at night, and then I'd go home and go to sleep, wake up, and just do it again. I did that for like 6 or 7 months. I made good money, but oh my god, I would never do that again. That's literally all I did was work. It's crazy.
It's rough, man. All right, this next one is from Samuel DC. What game of yours did you have the most fun making?
The most fun making. Oh boy. Okay, so I've made a lot of games. The most fun completed game. Like right now, the game I'm working on right now is probably the most fun I've had making a game. Full disclosure. But my favorite completed game of mine, game development process wise, probably. I think it was Slendy Something. Slendy Something was so fun. Dave and I worked on that game.
Oh, Slendy Something's awesome. That's another game I gotta get back to. That game's fun, man.
Yeah, that was our big collab game. Both of us worked on that one. Like, it was primarily me working in the engine, and I would send him the project file, and he would build. Like, I think he built half the maps.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then he would send it back to me, and I'd import the maps, and we'd work together on that. So, like, half the maps are built by him and all the maps have assets from both of us. And just, like, I think that was the first game that I made with, like, minimal to no bugs. Like, it was just, like, of course there were some, but...
It's pretty solid.
It was such a smooth game, and I think I said it before, is my main driving, like, motivation is... I want to play it. Like I want to see the end product, and I want to play it, you know? I want to make this thing, and then I want to play with it. And Slendy Something I love Slender games. Like I love collecting things and running from Slenderman, you know? So this was just so cool to finish and see how it works so well, and then I expanded it in like a later update and added like speedrun modes and medals that you can earn in the game that even if you clear your save file, they don't go away. You know, I don't know. That game has a lot to it, and it had a pretty cool premise for a story. Slenderman was trying to be relevant again, so he came back and possessed like a bunch of relevant characters.
I love that concept, dude.
Like SpongeBob, and yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's super thorough. Everything worked really well, and I learned a lot working on that game. And I think during like building that game, I remember days that I would spend like building the maps and programming stuff, and I would just have like YouTube videos or streams off like on the second monitor just playing, and I just listened to that in the background. I don't know. It was a really calming time. It's super fun just chilling and working on stuff like that.
Yeah, I gotta get back in this one. That's a game I am determined to get back to. Is Slendy Something. That is a really good game. So
it's fun.
Very
I like
solid.
that one. It's not that hard either. Like, especially once you get it down. It's not very randomized for sure.
All right, this next one is from Abid. What inspired Boofie to have a scream like Goku from Dragon Ball Z?
Is that what you think it sounds like?
That's what he thinks it sounds like.
Okay, so I was on my way home from work when I recorded that scream, and it was one of those inhale kind of things where you're like, I wonder what this would sound like if I recorded it on my phone. I just I put my phone at my face and I recorded it.
Are you serious? That's literally where it came from?
I listened to it and I was like, you know what? That could sound pretty good with some distortion and stuff, and that's where Boofie Scream came from. I don't think it sounds like Goku, but hey.
Maybe in some kind of way. Maybe you can kind of interpret it if you listen to it enough times. It kind of sounds like Goku. Who knows?
Yeah, art is up to interpretation. So if it sounds like Goku to you, it sounds like Goku.
All right, this is our last question on our community tab. It's from Mike Raffone. What's your favorite fruit?
Whew, this came out of left field.
Yeah.
It's funny because like when you read it, I was still thinking about the previous question. I was like, you know what? It actually does kind of sound like Goku. Like when he first sees you and he's screaming while he's running at you. Yeah, I thought he was talking about the jump scare scream. Okay, anyway. Favorite fruit. Oh man, there's so many good fruits. Can I just say yes? I love fruit.
Just say any kind of
Fruit's
fruit.
my jam. I'm drinking pomegranate blueberry V8 right now.
Ooh.
My favorite fruit. Oh god, pineapples are so good though. I don't know, pears. There's pears exist. I don't know, probably peaches, right? Peaches are good. We'll go with peaches. I'll just say peaches, just for the sake of ending the questions. Just move on.
I have peach PTSD, and here's why. So,
oh no.
there was one day that my mom brought home this Dora themed peach yogurt, and she made me eat it because she was like, it was on sale. You need to eat this. I'm like, okay, and I tried it. It was the worst thing I have ever had. And every time I look at peaches or like I'm looking at like some kind of dish that has peaches in it, it reminds me of that horrible yogurt, and I just cannot.
Oh, no.
And it's like I don't think
it's on sale for a reason, Mom.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I bet like real peaches probably are good, but like artificial peach flavor should go die in a fire.
I think most of the reason I like peaches so much is because they're just, I don't know, man. Something about the way it feels in your mouth, so good. It's juicy. I don't know. I can't go wrong with peaches unless you're you, I guess.
Unless you've eaten the disgusting Dora peach yogurt.
Don't eat Dora peach yogurt.
Yeah, anybody who is wanting to get into peaches.
Especially if it was on sale.
No, yeah, it might be a day-old yogurt. That might have been the problem with it.
It's about to expire, so they're trying to get rid of it.
Oh, gosh. Okay, let's move on to our 200 questions. This first one is from Chaos. 2 questions. The first one, what gives you the right to take the time out of your day for this podcast when you could be editing my videos?
You know what's funny is that's actually kind of accurate. Like, I have a video right now that I need to edit for him. But I will do that. I'll do that for you tomorrow. Tomorrow, the day after this video publishes.
Yeah, this is going up Saturday, so are you putting it up on Sunday? Or you putting it up on Friday?
Yeah, I hope you can wait, man.
It won't be too long. And his second question is, would you ever like to dabble in making games for different genres in the future, or find ways to combine horror with new genres?
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, actually, I was actually thinking about this. Last night, I was actually about to tweet about this. Like, I would like to, yes. I would like to dabble in non-horror games. I think it'd be cool. But the thing about that is any YouTuber knows, or anybody in this sort of field knows, that if you break away from something that you're known for, it's not going to do as well, you know, at least at first.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to, like, make that decision and start doing it. I feel like it's something that I would try and just kind of throw out there as like a trial run, maybe make a demo of something. But I would love to make stuff that's not horror. Like I've recently been really into like platformers and stuff, so I would like to try my hand at those. But there's just so much I don't know in game development. There's so much I need to learn still, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's pretty cool.
Gotcha. All right, this next one's from Dave. Jay, the whole world needs to know, are you my son?
Oh no. It's funny because I was gonna play along and keep joking about this one, but I just like completely broke character immediately. Yes.
All right, yeah, we heard it here, folks. You heard it here. Awkward silence.
Please come back.
Man, you went off to get milk. I'm just ashamed of you, Jay. How could you? How could you abandon Dave?
But Who sends their son to get milk in the first place?
I thought you were you were the dad to go and get.
No,
oh
he asked
wait, no,
me
I
the question.
I mixed it up. Dave went to get the milk. Okay, I
sent my son to
ruined the
get
joke.
milk.
I ruined the joke. Okay.
I sent my son to get milk and he
Plot
never came
twist.
back.
My son went to get the milk and he never came back.
That's my least favorite plot twist in a video game.
Oh yeah, there it is.
To answer your question from earlier.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, here I am ruining jokes. Cool. Let's move on. Next one is from Padre Snowmizzle. He's got a few. The first one, best/worst moments playing games, whether personally or for content.
Oh man. Okay. So we'll go with best moments playing games. Probably when I beat 50/20 mode. Like I'm just thinking like best thing I've done in gaming, like most skilled or hardest thing I've done. Probably that, I think. Like that just based on like how much time it took to get it done in general. I think a close second would be probably something Baldi, you know. I can't really think of anything that comes close to that. I have the original version of Sister Location on my desktop right now, though, and I plan on doing the all max mode on that. I hear it's crazy hard because I guess the game was updated and nerfed eventually, but that could be something that I want to do someday when I feel like going crazy. And worst moments in video games. I don't know. I guess just any time I've ever been toxic and talking bad. Wow, I can't speak today. Spoken badly about like a developer of a game because I'm bad at a game. You know, like I feel like most people have done that.
I have.
You know?
I've done that.
Yeah,
I
feel like most people are guilty of that.
The biggest thing when I did it was Night 6 of Five Nights at Max Night 2, the original one.
Oh
and
no!
I was just so done with that night, and I finally beat it, and I go back. It goes back to the menu, and all I got was like a second moon icon for beating the sixth night, and I was just like.
I
that's
love
it.
doing that,
I was like, that's it. That's all I get is a second moon. That's all I get for beating this crap. And I didn't think at the time of how that sounded. But like Mickey commented on that. He was like, he's like, I don't like how that sounded. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I did not. I wasn't calling the game crap. I was just they came out of an angry spell from finally beating that night. Because Night 6 and Final Fantasy Night 2 is annoyingly hard. And like after finally beating it, I'm just like, oh. And I wish I had gotten there was like a cutscene or something, but you know, Final Fantasy Night 2 is not crap. Let's clarify. But there's yeah, I get what you mean. You get angry at a game and you say some stuff.
Yeah, like in the moment. Yeah, I feel like gamer rage is pretty common. I can't play competitive games because of it.
Oh, dude,
I can't.
Playing Apex, I will get the angriest. Like Apex makes me so mad, dude. It is ridiculous.
Any shooter is just no. I just can't do it. It's toxic. I can't even play competitive board games half the time because I just get mad and I'm so toxic. Like I know when to stop. I know my limits. I've gotten better about like playing challenging games and getting mad. I try to like when I say things about how I'm angry to not direct it at anybody in particular. But as a game developer, if you're making something that's difficult, you also have to realize that people are going to say things in the moment. Especially on the internet, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's just something you learn to expect as a game developer. At least from that point of view, to see people get angry. That's a big reason I don't watch Let's Plays of my games half the time. It's because I'm like, no, I think I'd rather not hear the rage. So
yeah, I get that. All right, this next one from Padre is, you might have mentioned it, can't recall. Have you tried game development of any capacity before Boofie's Bunker, tinkering around in modeling software or an engine?
No. Nope.
So Boofie's Bunker was the first game.
Yep. That was the first anything game development I ever did. I think I think before Boofie's Bunker. Actually, yeah, I think before Boofie's. I don't count this though. Before Boofie's Bunker, I downloaded Unity. It was like a year prior, and I watched like a Brackeys tutorial, and made a game using a Brackeys. You know who Brackeys is?
I don't believe I do.
He's a game development tutorial guy on YouTube. He channel uploads how to do this and this and this. So I did that, and I made this game, and then I was like, I don't remember anything I did. So I stopped game development for like a year, and then I picked it back up with Unreal and actually like learned. So I guess that kind of, if you count that, it was just copy and pasting what the dude did in the video though. So I don't know if I really count that.
Gotcha. All right, and this is Padre's last question. What that boof doing?
Like I said earlier, I might be doing a remaster if I do anything with the boof. We'll see. We'll see. I've been doing this thing where I don't announce anything until it's pretty much done, which is why I haven't really been announcing.
That's a good way to go about it, honestly.
Because I have a bad habit of just canceling projects. I've canceled so many projects.
All right, this next one is from C&D Cardboard Games. Jay, why are you so cool?
Oh man, I knew it was gonna be something like that. Like, so see, he's Canadian, man. Like, he's so nice.
Dude, Canadians are so nice. I know.
So nice.
Like, they got their maple syrup, and like it's just and then like my friend Bew is from Canada, and he likes the ketchup chips, and it's like I'm jealous because like it sounds like the ketchup chips are actually really good. It's like Canada sounds so nice.
Yeah. It's like he'll message me random, like out of the blue on Discord, and just ask me how I'm doing. Like, one of the nicest dudes ever. If you don't know, you know who C&D is, right? Like,
he helped. He was part of Crunchy, that one game.
Yeah.
But Dave finished that, right? Because C&D was making it at first, and then Dave took it over, or was it vice versa?
It was like that. C&D was working on it with, I think, a few other people, and then Dave took it over, and I think C&D helped with like finishing it up. The shirt has holes in it. That's not good. Anyway,
yeah, that's how that went. But yeah, thanks. I don't know why I'm so cool, because you think I'm so cool. I don't think I'm so cool. You're cool.
Yeah, C&D, you're cool.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is from your pal Sass, the Sass Jacket, the homie. Why is Aggron better than Noivern? I don't know what he's talking about, but I assume you do.
This Aggron's a metal dinosaur. Aggron's a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, that's why I don't understand.
Yeah. Cause metal dinosaur. That's why.
Okay, agreed. I don't. Well, actually, no, I don't agree because I don't know Pokemon. So hopefully that's a good answer for people who are curious about that. I cannot input on that because I don't play Pokemon, and I've just never been able to get into it. All right, this next one is from Grayson the Kid. He's got 3 questions. First one is, I cannot talk today. How were you introduced into video games?
Oh, wow. Wowie. God. So basically, what was the first video game I ever played? Dude. That's some deep memory stuff. The farthest back I can remember is, it's like a mixture of a few things. I remember picking up and playing my cousin's Game Boy at his house, and playing Pokemon Blue, and he was like, don't save it, and I used to play it a lot when I was really little. I also remember going over to my friend's house and playing Mario 64. I remember going over to my grandma's neighbor's house and playing their Sega. I remember playing that Star Guy game. I can't remember. Ristar. I remember playing that. And Crash Bandicoot, I think, is probably the most vivid.
Oh, man.
Because I think that was like the first game I owned was Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. And I played too much. Like, I don't know. I played a lot of video games. It's like what I did. Ooh, man. It's a lot of remembering.
Oh, yeah. Lots of memories. I think the first... I can't remember exactly what my first one was, but the most distinct memory that I have of playing video games was when I got a DS Lite in Christmas 2006, and I played New Super Mario Brothers, and yeah, that is by far the most nostalgic game for me to play because it was like one of my very first video games. Like, so New Super Mario Brothers has a very special place in my heart, to say the least. And
Nice. Yeah, nostalgia is so awesome. I just
yeah, when they I don't know how big of a Marvel fan you are, but with Spider-Man No Way Home, it's a big example of how to do nostalgia right.
yeah,
And
I haven't seen it yet, so
I will not spoil anything for you. Have you been able to avoid spoilers?
Yeah, I've been really good about spoilers lately, about like everything.
That's amazing. There were
Yeah.
spoilers all over the place when it first came out, but
Yeah,
definitely go
I'm just
see it.
like-
Definitely go see it.
Yeah, I know of a few characters who are in it, but I'm trying I'm trying so hard. I watched Venom, the second Venom movie, and I saw the post credits for that, and I got so excited.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
man.
if you've seen it. Yeah, you did. Okay. Oh, dude, I'm ready. Like, I can't wait.
They're
We-
doing
we
the
haven't-
big
we haven't-
multiverse thing. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I know. Like, we loved Loki.
Oh,
so
Loki's
much.
Loki is
was
so good, man. I love that show.
Man, Loki was so good.
And it's rumored that he's gonna show up in Multiverse of Madness. So that would be.
I hear. Yeah. I also hear they're doing a second season of Loki.
They are, yeah. And I can imagine they're probably gonna release that right before
man.
Ant-Man 3 because
Oh,
Jonathan
man.
Majors as Kang is confirmed to be in Ant-Man 3.
Yes.
So
Oh, dude.
that's gonna be awesome.
Kang. Yeah, and then the new Thor, and then the new Guardians is coming as well. It's gonna be cool. I don't know when, but I know that's on the horizon somewhere.
My girlfriend and I are so stoked for Multiverse of Madness, though. That's gonna be just crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Like, after Loki, I had that kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but when you watch something or read something so good, and then you're just done after that. Like, nothing else is gonna compare. Like, I loved Loki so much that everything else Marvel that I saw, because it was like we watched Loki, and then the Black Widow movie came out, and we watched that, and I was like, that's nothing compared to Loki. Like, that was
it's not.
I was like, man. So I was like, you know what? I think I'll take a Marvel break for a little bit. So I just basically avoided all the hype behind Marvel, anything. I didn't even watch the Hawkeye thing when it came out. Like,
Hawkeye's
I've not been keeping
okay.
up.
It's not like amazing or anything, but it's entertaining. But No Way Home, I think, might beat Loki for you. It's on par. It's
Nice.
that good.
Oh, good. I'm ready, dude.
All right, this next Grayson the Kid's next question is: do you like any RPG games?
Oh, dude, yes.
RPGs.
Oh my god.
Goated, dude.
Oh my god. Okay, so like, I'm probably the third biggest Pokemon fan you'll ever meet. For one, I know, but when I think RPG, let's get this straight. I don't think of Pokemon first, okay? But it is an RPG. I played Final Fantasy 11, which was the first online Final Fantasy game, for a long time, like 5+ years. And then when Final Fantasy 14 came out, I started playing that, like switched over, and played that for years and years and years. So I was obsessed, like, RPGs. I played Final Fantasy games my whole life, pretty much. Final Fantasy 9 is probably my favorite. I don't know, man. Like, just everything, like tactics, anything Final Fantasy just grabs my eye. And like, it's hard though, because like a lot of these, it's easy to miss hidden gems with RPGs, and it's hard to tell which of the mainstream ones are good or not. You know, because like there's this one game called Battle Hunter, came out for the PlayStation, and it was so good, and literally no one knows what it is. And then you have like the whole Final Fantasy series, which is like, God, there's so many of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's hard to just pick one up.
Aren't they making a 16th game? I heard.
Probably. I haven't played them all, just because like time, and there's so many, and just I have like 3 copies of Final Fantasy 13. I've never played it all the way through. It's one of those things.
All right, and the last one from Grayson is, what is your favorite game that you've created? And I think you said that was Slendy Something.
I think Slendy Something. A close second would probably be Do Not Pass Go, just for the fact that it's like Slendy Something was my fun. Like I had the most fun working on it. I think my favorite game I've made is probably Do Not Pass Go, just the Monopoly game. Just
yeah,
because
I played that. That was good.
Yeah, I loved it. Like I think that's the first game of mine that I'm aware of the Alpha Beta Gamer covered, and I remember specifically they gave like input on the game, like what they would change, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a really good idea." So I changed it, and in the update notes, I thanked them, and then they reached back out again. It was super cool. Like, and I was like, "Man, the game's just good. The game's in a really good state right now.
It's solid.
If you want to pick up a game and beat it in like 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how good you are at collecting things, that's a good one. Just not even like self-promoting, just like it's fun.
Yeah, I would agree. I played
buy
that, so it's fun. All right, our next one is from Weed Chips. What was the first video that you ever edited?
The first video I ever edited, not for myself, was Sam's. Oh man, let me go back. I think it was a Mr. Tomatoes video for Sam. I can actually pull up my.
That would have been recently then, because he hadn't.
My portfolio.
That's not a very old video.
No, yeah, I've only been editing for a few months. So I've edited 148 videos.
Dang.
Not counting the ones that I've done like the past few days. Yep, it was his Mr. Tomatoes Part 2 video. I think it was the first one I did for him. And then I slowly like started.
And now you edit all of his videos?
Not all of them, no. I edit probably 80% of his videos. He has a couple other people who edit for him as well.
Oh, okay.
And then I edit maybe 1 or 2 videos a week for Yub, 1 or 2 videos a week for Luigi Kid, and I edit all of Chaos's videos. Like, there's very few that Chaos uploads that I have not edited.
Gotcha. Well, I gotta say, like, you know, after seeing some of Sam's recent videos and, you know, Chaos's stuff, you do a good job, man. And if I ever need somebody to edit for me, it would either be Mickey or you. One of those two.
Oh, thank you.
So.
Yeah, I've actually, my friend, the Sash Jacket, you know, he had the Agron comment. I've been forwarding all my, like, because when I was trying to get into editing and quit my job, I sent emails to, like, a ton of YouTubers around Sam's size asking if they needed editors. And they recently started reaching back out to me, so I've been, like, forwarding all these channels to him. So, because I'm booked right now, but yeah, I definitely appreciate that. But I would kind of recommend him. He's really good too.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. All right, our next one is from Random. What was the longest editing session that you can remember?
Oh man, let me bring my portfolio back up. Longest editing session, just off the top of my head, probably Luigi Kid's recent his 2021 recap compilation.
Yeah, those take a long time.
Yeah, I had to go through and like do subtitles for it, change a few edits around. Some of Sam's videos take a while, like his Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Just because, you know, he was pioneering the game, you know, like he didn't have any prior knowledge. So a lot of the videos he sent me were a lot of footage. And the videos themselves ended up coming out to about 55 minutes, I think, or was it 30 minutes? I can't remember. I think
each one was around half an hour.
Yeah, there were 30 minutes. Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it was sifting through and like chopping it down to about 30 minutes a piece. That took a while. But yeah, I think the longest one was probably Luigi Kids. Which is funny because usually when Luigi Kid sends me a video, it takes way less time than anyone else. You know?
Gotcha. Okay. And our last one for Twitter is from Random Girl. My question, why the beans, man?
Why the beans? Oh, because Jayskibean.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Dude, okay, so in high school, I had a friend of mine, I guess more like he was a classmate. That's the word. Anyway, he would look at me and he'd be like, Jelly Bean, because you know my name was Jay, and it was like a play on Jelly Bean. And I was like, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, man, you're kind of weird. But then I started doing YouTube, and I was like, oh man, I can't think of a name. So I was like, oh, that one guy called me Jelly Bean. That's got a nice ring to it. It's taken. So I was like, okay, what else kind of sounds this? Jayskibean sounds the same, and that's, yep. That's how that happened.
Interesting. Well,
I think that answers your question.
Yeah. All right, that does it for Twitter, and now we have just a few more from Discord. Our first one is from Picking a Squiddy. He said, what program do you use to edit videos? I think we mentioned that at the beginning. You use Premiere.
Yep, I use Premiere primarily, yeah. And for some edits, I go into After Effects, but very rarely.
I still need to learn After Effects. I know my girlfriend knows how to use it. Maybe I'll get her to teach me how to do that.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's mostly... Like, I probably don't use it right. Like, I just use it for specific edits I want to do. I primarily use Premiere, and then there's, you can, like, take a clip from Premiere and run it through After Effects and do it's basically Photoshop for videos. It just has more options and do whatever you need to do, and then it exports it and, like, implants it into, like, it replaces that clip in Premiere with what edit you made in After Effects. Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Super easy to do.
I may end up using that if I can learn it properly. All right, the next one's from PJ. Your editing style is really cool, and I enjoy it a lot. Any suggestions or quick tips that you can give me for more steady workflow and stronger editing?
Okay, so the biggest thing that I've learned since actually starting like editing for other people, my pacing's gotten a lot better. The biggest thing I can say is right before doing any kind of like cut, I try to do any sort of like movement, you know, like for chaos, it's kind of like it's either zooming in or out on the screen and like angling it a little bit and then doing a cut after that. That way it looks less like a hard cut straight from one thing to another, and it's more like it flows a lot better. Like you'll see in anybody else's videos with the face cam that I do is usually before I do a cut, I'll do like some sort of like zoom on their face cam. Like Sam will scale up and then it'll cut to a part where he's scaled down just a little or scaled up just a little more, you know. Like when I do cuts, I try to like always have movement to go along with it. Another cool thing to do is if you ever put anything visual in a video, or if you ever put anything audio in a video, have something respective to go with it. Like if you want a specific sound to go with something you said or a meme, put something visual with it, you know. Unless you on your face cam or something is doing unless you're doing something to go with it, you want that audio visual kind of, they work together. So like if you put like a PNG on the screen of something when you mention it, add like a little pop, you know, add like a whoosh sound when it whooshes on screen. Also, PNGs, I always put a drop shadow on them and try to animate them if possible, even if it's just like sliding onto the screen and sliding off, you know, anything simple, slow zoom, you know. It just, I don't know, it has that extra little movement in it. It helps videos flow a lot better than just like something just appearing on the screen and then disappearing, you know.
I should have done that with
like
my recent video that had, because I was playing Five Nights at the Chum Bucket, and I switched the camera over to the SpongeBob animatronic, and he's all ripped and buff, and I've just been like, SpongeBob's been hitting the muscle milk! Like, what kind of steroids? I should have showed, like, a picture of muscle milk going on. I should have done that. I need to do that for the next one.
Yeah, any kind of, like, audio-visual complement that you can do with something that happens, it helps a lot, and it helps increase that, like, that pacing, you know? Mm-hmm. And then animating it further. And once you get the hang of it, like once you get to where, because my edits on the videos I do are mostly like the same edits over and over again, just with different ingredients, you know. And as far as the PNG thing goes, like you just, if you put PNGs on the screen, you don't want it to look like a slideshow. You want it to look like, how do you put it? Like kind of like not a documentary, but like a game show or something. You know how it is like like a PNG on the screen, and then it's like animated or something that just goes off. Like, a big example is every game theory video. You know, like everything that goes on the screen, most of the videos are just PNGs, but
Yeah.
it's all animated so much that it just looks like a movie, you know, and it's most of them are just still PNGs.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep that in mind, and PJ, there you go. That's how we can do edit improvements. I'm gonna try that on our next video and see how that turns out and see what the feedback's like.
Yeah, it's a little extra work, but like I said, once you get used to it, it goes a lot faster.
All right, and last but not least on Discord is for random once again. What video in recent memory was your favorite one to work on?
Oh man, all of Yub's videos are so fun to edit. Like, it's an understatement. He is. I'm gonna gush over Yub for a minute. He's probably the most talented person I've seen on YouTube. Like, just in general. Like, dude's hilarious. Like, even his outtakes. Like, a lot of the stuff I take out of his videos. Like, it's. He's the only person I'll edit for, and I'll just be cracking up, laughing like while I'm editing. It's so funny, and I don't know. He makes his own music for the videos and stuff. Like, his production quality is just off the charts. Like, when he sends me footage, it'll pretty much be lined up already. And he uses a Go XLR, which is basically, it's like a soundboard, and it has like filters built into it. You might know what a Go XLR is. If not,
It's a mixer, isn't it?
Yeah. So like he'll do a lot of his own like voice effects, and sometimes he'll put like a beat behind, like if he's like rapping to something. I don't know. He's very talented. I don't know if you ever watched Yub, but
I need to.
yeah. Oh my God, I can't recommend it enough. He's so good. But yeah, probably any Yub video, or more recently, Sam's like quote unquote documentary videos that he's been doing. Those have been so fun to edit, just because it's like, I don't know, it's more like, I edit a lot of Let's Plays. So going to Sam pretending he's in like the mountains hunting the Grinch it's so much more fun than just editing him screaming to jump scares, you know?
Oh yeah, I bet.
Which is, I mean, it's still funny to edit him screaming to jump scares, but I don't know. It's a little different. It's different. It's more, and it's fun.
All right, gotcha. Well, that'll do it. That's all the questions. This is definitely going to be the longest GeniusCast episode so far. But yeah,
I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
No. It's a podcast, man. Don't worry. It's all about talking. So, thank y'all for submitting your questions. These were great, and I'll be getting this out again Saturday. I'm trying to be more consistent with GeniusCast this time around. Thank you, Jay. It was awesome talking to you, man. This was a great episode, and I'll be getting back to your games. I'll be playing more of them in the upcoming future. I want to play more of them. I got to get back to Slendy Something. I want to play. I assume I'll have to go to Patreon if I want to play Dave is Dead. I've heard that one's good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be getting back to those. And if you want to check out Jay, I'll be linking all this stuff in the description. YouTube and Twitter. I'll link your itch.io to, and Patreon. Alrighty, everybody. That'll do it for this episode. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, check out Jay with the link in the description. And next week, I'll be interviewing Jeb Yoshi, the one behind Finance at Yoshi's and Return to the Factory, Finance at Wario stuff. That'll be a fun little conversation to have, so hope y'all looking forward to that. Thanks again, Jay. Thank y'all for listening, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.